Hi, good morning, Bruce. Thanks for the opportunity given to us to submit the ways of naming of describing a model. We place a 10 marks lab question. So I have my note here with me. I'll be doing a video describing the ways by which we can identify Moses or yeah. So I'll be starting with the location. Location is where the muzzle is located. So mostly is if there is one muscles, like I would say for instance, frontalis. Frontalis, the front, that means is the front. So front, the least is part of is the way they measure the muzzle. So it actually ends with least. Most times the muzzles or the loose. So is frontalis. Frontalis is in the front. So we use it to like front of face or something like that. Yeah. And the depth, we can identify muscles by their depth. So this is an adjective used to quantify the muscle. Like I would say external intercostal, they are in between the intercostals, so it's in between the ribs. So yeah, so that is and it's half side, so the internal one will be inside, so it's in between the ribs. So we have internal and external intercostal muscles. And we also have origins and insertion. This is where the muscle starts and where it ends. An example of this is stenomastoid. Mastoid is the process here that is where on the mouth kind of, yeah, it's called, there's a mastoid, so it's connected to the sternum. So that's why they call it sternum. So it's sternum and mastoid. So the origin, the origin, the origin is sternum, and the the insertion where it moves is a mastoid. The numbers of origins. So when we hear is just numbers, like if it is two, is bicep, if it is three, is tricep, if it is four, is quadricep. So when we see bicep, we know there are two muscles involved. So example will be tricep brachii, and that is found behind our arm, our humerus. So it's behind the humerus here. In the one on the front is the bicep brachii. Then we'll talk about the size. It's how big. The big one we use maximum, the small one we use minimums, and the one that is in between, that is not big or not too small, we call it medium. So example will be gluteus maximum, that means the big gluteus, then that is found on the on the bony side of the pelvic side of the, yeah, towards the leg. So it's on the back of is a buttocks in short. That's the terminology. Then have directions of the Bible, like where it goes, like the direction is how it goes. If it is, we learned about how we learned about transverse, we learned about oblique, So transverse is cutting through, that is form a circular form when you cut it. So example would be transverse, abdominis, oblique. So we say transverse, that means it's cut through. So abdominis means the abdomen. So muscles around the transverse muscles around the abdomen. Then shape, location relative to midline. So when we have a midline and the one that is far away from the midline is lateral, the side that is close to the midline is called medial. So rectus lateralis is gonna be it's gonna be like the one that is far away from, yeah, that is far away from the midline. So rectus lateralis is the muscle on the left side that is lateral, that is far away from the eye. So then from the nose. So this one, any muscle that is close to this place is going to be called medial. The one that is close to but the one that is far away from the eyes is going to be called lateral rectus. The one close to it is medial, and the one above it is superior, and the one below it is inferior. And we have shape. So any muscles that we see the shape is kind of triangular. Is they call it deltoid. The one that looks like a trapezium shape, they call it trapezius. So the deltoid is found on this on the humerus side here. So we can see deltoideus. Deltoideus is muscle on the hand, on the humerus. So function based on function is it indicates what the muscle is doing. Is it lifting it? Is it bringing it down? So when it's lifting it, it's levator. When it's down, it's depressor. So example about this muscle, the depressor angular oris. Depressor angular oris is it's depressed. It brings down the lips, so is around the mouth. So the mouth is hoary. So the depressor angular is at the angle of the mouth. So it depresses the mouth at the angle. So that's yeah. And based on the cultural significance, it's not really it's just like the way of naming things in 1500 days. So it will be Satyrus, that's a line that run across from the lateral side of the bone of the femur towards the medial part of the knee. So it run across from the top towards the knee. Yeah. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Really appreciate. And I hope I was able to do this right. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Elizabeth Walgo. Bye.